Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode or webinar series, Finding Funds for College. Thank you for joining us. We are well into our way. Tonight, we are excited because we did have a postponement, so we're going to be joined by Bermuda College. We have Workforce Development, and we also have the Ministry of Education. We have a few scholarship recipients as well. So tonight is going to be a very informative session. So if you have questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat. There'll also be moments where you can unmute yourselves if you want to ask a question. But yeah, thank you for joining us. If there are any students, please ensure that we know your information so that we can give your co-curricular hours. Don't be afraid to ask questions. There will be a lot of information and resources shared. I'm gonna allow Miss Kimberly Jackson, the program manager at the Mirrors program, to give us some opening words.
Good evening. I just want to say welcome to a terrific Tuesday. This is our fourth Finding Funds for College. It's our second in our scholarship section. Just excited that we can continue to provide the information to our community. I know it was valuable for me when my children were looking to go to college. And I'm an example of how the information, which was handed down from another parent to me, made it work. And we made it work for us. And I just want to appreciate all the presenters as well for coming to share their information, because the more that we could share and connect the resources to young people for opportunities for growth, post-secondary education, just means we are heading for a brighter future for Bermuda. So thank you and welcome all, and I'll turn it back over to Alicia so we can get into the meat of it. Thanks again for being here.
Thank you, Kim. So first, we are going to hear from Miss Cree Watson. She is the Programs and Operations Coordinator at the Bermuda College. No, that's not it, Cree?
The financial aid specialist at Bermuda
Financial
College.
aid specialist. Okay, even better. And alum. So excited to hear what Cree has to share. If you do have questions while she is presenting, you can drop them in the chat. I'll filter them out. And then there'll be question and answer at the end. So thank you, Cree.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome. Okay, I'm just going to be giving over a few funding options and opportunities that we had for this current academic year. Normally, it happens that the scholarships and funding support is the same every year, but we encourage students to apply. It gets to a point sometimes where students don't apply, and then we end up having to give away scholarships. So we just want to get students to apply and just get the funding support options out there that are available here at Bermuda College. So I'm just going to share my screen. And I actually have double screen, so I'm not sure how it's going to look. Okay. Can you see the screen or?
Yes, I see it. It looks good.
Okay. Just making sure that when I tap it, see what the double screen. Hold on 1 second. I'm sorry. So share and. Okay. Looks good now?
Yes.
Okay. So again, I'm here to discuss the funding support options at Bermuda College. So first I'm going to go over the types of funding support. So we have merit-based and need-based funding support. Merit-based is our awards and scholarships. Majority of them are private scholarships. They're offered to students with a 3.0 GPA, admissions without condition, and your citizenship is determined by which scholarship you actually receive. The need-based funding support, there's a grants. We received the funding from Bermuda College Foundation, Ministry of Education, as well as Bermuda College. There's an offer to students with a 2.0 GPA and then registered for at least one class. So that can be either an A-PACE class or an academic course. You don't have to be accepted into a Bermuda College program for that. And that's offered to Bermudian students only, or students that are deemed to be Bermudian. Okay, next I'm going to go over the difference between the College Promise, the scholarships, and the Bermuda College Funding Support. So College Promise is something that's offered from Ministry of Education. They advertise up to $5,000 per academic year. They pay 100% of tuition and layup fees, but they do not cover books. Scholarships, those are offered either as partial funding or full funding. It actually depends on the scholarship. They support tuition fees, and some of them also factor in books. So it's just dependent on the coverage. And then the Bermuda College Funding Support, we support tuition, layup fees, and books are optional with request. We offer anywhere from 30 to 80% support. Anything above 80% support, that's offered on a need basis, but we'll get into that part later. The application windows, I actually generalized the dates because we actually extended the dates recently. So all funding applications, including scholarships, open April 1st. Funding support notifications begin in June. That's like normally the first week in June. Scholarship application deadlines is June 30th. We begin scholarship interviews and notifications mid-July, anywhere from mid-July to August when school starts. Requests for funding support application deadline, we've actually changed that. It was the Wednesday before classes started. Now we've actually extended it so we can get more students to take advantage of it. So that's been extended to mid-October. And the request for funding support for the spring application opens November 1st and it ends in February. That used to be opens November 1st, closes December 1st, but we've extended that to the end of February. And funding support notifications for the spring semester go out December. So as you can see, we're trying to make the funding support more accessible to students by extending the deadlines. Any questions so far before I get into the funding support application process? No? Okay. So the requirements for the funding support application, you have to be admitted to Bermuda College. All of this information is verified in our system. So admitted to Bermuda College, have Bermudian citizenship, and be registered in a course. Like I said, it can be an academic course or it can be a PACE course. You must submit an online funding support application before the deadline. And if we require any other documentation, that's when we'll contact you and let you know that we need it. Anything for verification purposes. So the review process, these are what we have to take into account when making a decision on how much needs you receive. So the first part of the application is your student name, your ID number. It's going to ask you if you're applying as an independent or dependent applicant, and it's going to ask you your program. The next part is the semester's education course. This is tuition and fees. And like I said, it can also be a PACE course as well, but you'll put that information there. Annual and the monthly household income. So how our form is built, you have to put in your monthly take home. That's after deductions. And then at the bottom of the form, it will calculate the annual take home. This income can consist of anything like salaries, pensions, any rental incomes, anything like that that is an income has to go in that category. Monthly expenses. The way our form is built, we have a category for everything. If it's something in any of those categories that are missing, you can actually type it in. So it's going to ask you for like your rent, your mortgage, your utilities, your personal loans, your education loans, anything that you pay per month would go in those boxes. At the end of the application, it's going to show a monthly balance. So this is going to be the amount that's left over after all the expenses come out. And that helps us make a decision on how much you can contribute towards the tuition. And we use a financial support rubric to make the decision on how much percentage you would receive. Any questions so far?
None in the chat so
Okay,
far.
so this is, pardon, none in the chat. Okay, so this is how we determine need. Like I said, normally we offer anywhere from 30 to 80% support. Certain cases we might do anything from 80 to 100 support, 100% support. My apologies. So we consider underemployment, unemployment, and then we also offer tuition waivers, which would be for those students that are current or former DCFS recipients. These are some of the award scholarships and bursaries that we awarded this 24-25 academic year. So first we'll start with a dean. Those are the area of study that a dean actually covers. They offer 100% of tuition fees and textbooks, and is awarded up to 5 students per year. And they continue to award you during your entire duration here at Bermuda College, as long as you maintain the GPA. For Sir William Stevens, that's the unrestricted scholarship. They give you $4,400 per academic year. So how we post that is we do 22 for the fall and 22 in the spring. Unfortunately, they do not cover books. Butterfield and Vallis is 80% across the board, and that's inclusive of tuition, fees, and books. And then you would be responsible for the 20%. J&G, that's a Go Smoky private scholarship, and that's offered to students within the technical programs. This year, they awarded, they fundraise for their funds, so every academic year looks different. So this past fall, they actually awarded $1,500 to 2 students. Roche Science Merit Scholarship, science-based, 100% tuition fees and textbooks. James King Culinary Arts Scholarship. This is a new scholarship. It's offered to culinary arts students, $5,000. Roy Wright, this is a continued one. It's offered to arts and science, $5,000. Conduit Re, motor vehicle technology. So as you can see, they cover a wide range of our programs. This year, they covered 4 students from that. Global Atlantic Re, they normally give us a lump sum, and we pay $67.50 for 1 student, and then the remainder is actually used to go towards the students that's applying for funding support. And then it was also an anonymous scholarship as well in the amount of $6,700 that was offered to a student. It's unrestricted, which means it's not a specific program. All of these scholarships you will find on bermudascholarships.com, and the application window for those are April 1st to June 30th. And then I've reached the end of the presentation. This is our email address, my direct telephone line, as well as my appointment link to schedule an appointment.
Thank you, Cree. So I just want to open the floor for questions. And before anyone has a question, I want to just ask a question regarding like the articulation agreement. And so for some of those students who may, want to go overseas, they might stop her. Just kind of what are some of those options for the parents who may not be aware of them and the students that are on the call?
So unfortunately for those students that are traveling abroad, we don't have many scholarships. Well, funding support, financial support services doesn't deal with those scholarships. We do recommend students to go to like bermudascholarships.com there, and if they need any help during that process, we are here to assist.
No, I'm sorry. I meant with like those that may be considering, so they want to do a 4-year bachelor's degree, but they want to get a home start.
So like,
kind of like, what are those type of options for them?
Meaning like, for instance, like MSVU.
Yeah, even so, I know like personally, I went to the college for 2 years. I got my associate. I transferred into my bachelor's because it allowed me to stay home and work. I was able to transfer and not lose those credits. So just for the people who may feel like they want to know what local options. They might not be in a position to travel immediately. I know some people have older siblings in school. So just wanted to let them know like Bermuda College is accredited and the articulation agreements.
Okay, currently, I know before they used to have a few articulation agreements that we would actually cover. Right now, we only have MSVU, and that's a business based program. So you'll do the 2 years here, and then it will be transferred to MSVU for you to do your additional 2 years, but you'll do them here, like online, which means you'll do all your exams and everything through Bermuda College. We do provide support for that MSVU program, but currently that's the only one. So they'll have to do the same process as the funding support. You're awarded anywhere from 30 to 80% support depending on need. But currently that's the only articulation agreement that we cover.
Okay.
And that's from doing it locally, right?
But
Because
that's a
my daughter,
financial
that's with financial
standpoint.
support,
So I
but my
think just
daughter did 2 years as well locally and then went to St. John's and
yeah,
everything transferred.
Big
yeah.
credit, yes.
Okay.
So I guess let's just make that explicitly clear. If it is anyone that is on the call that you are thinking of, you want to stay home, you might want to work, you might want to do an internship or whatever it is, you just might want to prep more before going away. Bermuda College is an option. So just check to see, if there's college credits or transfer, whether you're going to the US or the UK. But yeah, definitely just wanted to let people know. And some people in the chat are sharing, see a hand up. Yeah, whoever has the
Sandy?
hands up, go ahead and you can unmute yourself and ask a question.
Okay, at the moment, good evening, everyone.
Evening.
My daughter is in this exact same position. She's coming up on her second year of Bermuda College, and she's looking to transfer to, is it Mount St. Vincent? Is that
Once
what it
I've
is?
been saying yes.
Right, but she wants to do most of it here. So
Mhm.
could you just explain to me what is available for her transferring over? And just to let everybody know, she's been to Bermuda College for 2 years, and if I've spent $500, that's all I've spent. So there's definitely ways to get money, and I'm thankful for it because I'm not in the position to pay a whole lot of money out. So if you could just help me with what help she
Yes.
can get.
So what she has to do, she actually has to go to her program coordinator first. For MSVU, right now her name is Wisconsin Smith. She will assist her in applying to MSVU. Once she's registered in our system, because how it's laid out is you register in MSVU system, MSVU system, but you also register in the Bermuda College system. So once those courses are registered in our system, you just fill out a regular financial support application and you're eligible for anywhere from 30 to 80% support.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you.
No problem. Any other questions?
Yeah, I do want to also, so great. I like that agreement that you have, but I do want to let the individuals know. For example, my daughter would have attended a $60,000 a year program at St. John's University. And
Mhm.
as a parent, I both my children actually, and as a parent, I couldn't afford $60,000 a year. But I was able to afford her going to school because she did 2 years at Bermuda College and was able to transfer. And when you get that bachelor's degree, yes, she's a graduate of Bermuda College. But when you get that bachelor's degree says St. John's University. Right, and
Yes.
my son's bachelor's degree says Eastern Michigan University. So they actually went for half the cost.
Mhm.
Actually, they went for even less than, and I
Yes.
call it my children got a master's degree at a bachelor's level course
Mhm.
because they did dual enrollment. But I'm just saying, Bermuda
This
College
is a great
is a
step.
very good pathway for individuals to go to college because when you start those 2 years, it's very reasonable to go locally, and then you go overseas. The degree says the
Yes.
college that you went to, right?
And it's accredited, yes. I
Yes.
actually did the exact same thing. I done my I completed my associate's here and then transferred overseas, and majority of my credits did transfer, so I was able to go in as a junior.
And that's for the US. So I
Yeah.
understand you don't have the same for those who's deciding to go to the UK.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
it's total,
it's a
yeah.
little different.
We have another person with their hand up.
Okay.
Mr.
Mache.
Yes, yes, good evening. Sorry, I just want to reiterate, I did this back in 1999. I attended Bermuda College. I actually did not finish my associate's degree, but I did transfer my credits to St. Mary's University, and that took 2 years off of my full-year Bachelor's of Commerce. So it is definitely a good option to for those as far as who don't have the funds to go away to university immediately, to take the opportunity and take the courses at Bermuda College and get the credits transferred. I did that for St. Mary's University and I got my bachelor's in accounting.
Yeah. Bermuda College right now has over 40, I want to say, articulation agreements. So I would just encourage everyone to go to the Bermuda College website and just have a look. I think it's on the transfer pathways. It might either be on the articulation agreements or they might have labeled it transfer pathways. But at least go on there, get a feel. Some of the major institutions that you might be interested in might even be on there. And it's good to start at home, right? And for half the goals.
Agreed. So just want to keep the flow open for a few more minutes if we have any questions or if we're ready to move on. Cree will stay with us for the duration of the presentation if something else pops up. But we do have the director, Malika Cartwright from the Department of Workforce Development, who is going to be our next presenter.
Good
Okay, so
evening, everyone.
yes. Yes. Okay, so thank you, Cree, and we'll see you in a minute. And then over to you, Ms. Cartwright.
Okay, it's telling me that my video is not working, so I do apologize for that. Just as a follow-on for what is available at Bermuda College, I am on the board of Bermuda College. There are several institutions that partner with Bermuda College. For instance, Johnson & Wales does offer a $10,000 scholarship for Bermuda College students who complete their 2-year associate's degree in culinary arts. So if you are a culinary student at Bermuda College and you want to attend Johnson & Wales, they do actually offer to Bermuda College graduates a $10,000 housing scholarship. There's also a new scholarship for housing with King University in New Jersey, and that will be coming up this year. They announced that when the Alumni Association came to Bermuda last year. So there are different funding options if you complete your 2 years at Bermuda College. So not only being able to transfer your credits, you can also look at some of the institutions that also offer some sort of funding, because for the most part, a lot of times it is the housing portion of your tuition that is a high cost. So a lot of them do offer some form of housing scholarship for Bermuda College students. So that's something else to look into if your young person is looking to go to Bermuda College. So there's a lot of different agreements and partnerships that Bermuda College does have in order to support young Bermudian students who would like to start their journey at Bermuda College and then complete that with another institution that they partner with. So I just wanted to make sure that everyone had that information as well. So as I said, my name is Malika Cartwright. I'm the Director of Workforce Development. Many people know that Department of Workforce Development gives out scholarships every year. We give out up to $10,000 in scholarship funds for individuals. So we give out about $350,000 in overseas scholarships and about $50,000 in local scholarships per year. So if you are unsuccessful in obtaining funding to attend Bermuda College, the Department of Workforce Development, you can come and apply with us if you are unsuccessful in gaining any of the funds that Bermuda College has. And we'll be happy to assist with support in that. We also do not cover books through our scholarship to Bermuda College either. We only cover tuition with our scholarships. Our overseas scholarships are mainly through career pathways where there's low Bermudian participation. So we normally fund students who are looking into careers for accounting, hospitality, any of the skilled trades, engineering, healthcare, and also now we're looking at the blue and green economy. So those who are looking to get into careers that cover anything that has to do with solar energy and sustainable development. We're looking to fund those kinds of scholarships. And as I said, we give up to $10,000. That scholarship is progressive. So you can receive that $10,000 every year until your graduation date, as long as you stay in good standing with your grades. And we do check in with you for that to ensure that you are keeping up. And if you need some support, if you need, if persons need additional support, if you need a tutor, we try and help you through that, through your school. So we do try and keep you on the right track for that. So the scholarship can end up being anywhere between $30,000 to $40,000, depending on how long you have to complete your degree. In addition to that, the Department of Workforce Development does offer career development services. Those who are in our scholarship programs, we do try to put them into our summer employment programs in the areas that they are studying in. So we try to take you through the entire journey. So if you have a scholarship with us, we want to make sure that you're working over the summer in your area of study. Once you complete and you graduate, if you come home and you find yourself unable to gain employment right away, we do have our graduate apprenticeship program, which is a 10-week program where we place you in your area of study that you graduated in, and also pay you a stipend for 10 weeks while we give you entry-level support and experience in the area in which you have graduated in. There are many different programs at the Department of Workforce Development where you can get funding and support as you move through your journey of study and working after you've completed your studies. All of our scholarships are available on the Bermuda Scholarships website, and the application process is done directly through there. Our scholarships will open up on April the 1st and close on May the 30th. They are based on your GPA and also based on financial need in some cases. But for the most part, we are looking for persons who are studying in those areas that I discussed, where we need more Bermudians in the workforce. So what happens is, as the need for Bermudians in different areas change, from time to time, what we fund for our scholarships would change as well. Does anyone have any questions regarding workforce development, any of our services, and the funding that we provide for scholarships?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Do you cover any online programs? So if somebody is, has completed most of their degree and then they have one last year to complete, but they want to do it from home and do online, are they eligible for any of your scholarships?
We don't cover the full tuition for online classes, but we will cover a portion of it. And we do like to see persons graduate. So we do, on a case-by-case basis, will allow persons to apply, and we will review and provide some form of funding to get them so that they're able to complete studies.
Thank you.
And obviously, we do look at whether or not they're studying in an area that definitely needs more Bermudians in in the workforce. We're not going to cover basket weaving if that's where you're going to get your degree in. I'm sorry, we're not going to be able to fund you for that. But we do, on a case by case basis, go outside of that area. Sometimes outside of the area that areas that we that I mentioned, because we do understand that some persons just need to be able to complete.
Okay, and for the students that may be listening, I know you gave a few examples, but is it any additional examples that you can give as far as what kinds of programs align with, which industries need the more Bermudians?
We're definitely looking for more persons in the healthcare industry, so definitely nursing, especially mental health nursing. And there's a great program at Bermuda College where you can start and then you can continue on after that. So that's a great opportunity. Definitely the hospitality and tourism industry. So if you are looking to be in hospitality and tourism, we're definitely looking at that. Persons who are looking at power engineering, that is definitely an area where we would like to support. And accountants, finance, software development. We are definitely moving into an age where we know that technology is moving quite fast, and artificial intelligence and designing of apps and the digitization of many areas is also going to be very important to have persons in those areas. One area that we are definitely looking to help support is in data management. Now, we're trying to find different words for it, but basically it is library sciences. And we are running short in Bermuda of librarians. But libraries are becoming digitized as well. We're going of the days of the Dewey Decimal System and going in and pulling out the cards and looking for the book on the shelf. There's a digitization process. But persons need to also recognize that not just in the libraries in Bermuda, but also many companies employ librarians to keep track of all of their information. So law offices require data management and a librarian. The hospital has a librarian. Many companies are employing persons for that area, and we are running short on persons with that skill set.
Archives, Registry
Yes,
General.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Intellectual property, trademarking. So
Yes.
there's a definite need for persons who are looking into that. There is a wealth of careers out there. I would encourage young people to definitely explore a vast majority of career options. A lot of times young people want to, they see one career option and they think that's, that's what it should be. But then what happens is it floods the market, and then we end up being short in one area, and then we are oversubscribed in another area. And that's what makes it difficult for employment. When you're looking at your degrees, look at how your degree can be diversified into many different industries, and try not to box yourself into one thing. So when you're looking at your degree, see how that degree can transition into many different areas and different jobs. So that is going to be very important as well.
Love that. These are definitely some gems that you are dropping. Thank you so much. I'm going to open the floor if we have any questions. There was one in the chat that asked about for like teaching and education based. So I am asking you, Director Cartwright, but I also know that the Ministry of Education is going to come on next. So Sinead, that might be something that you'd be able to answer. But I don't know from a workforce development. So I just wanted to open it up.
Depends on the area for teaching and education. For the most part, the Department of Education does have many of those scholarships for teachers. Workforce development tries to fund those areas that don't normally have
Family funding.
funding. So that's where we come in, is that we try to fill the gap of those areas that don't normally have funding. In addition to that, We do have the government of Bermuda also has their bursary program where they match persons to roles that will be vacant in a few years.
Yes.
And then so you are actually pretty much guaranteed employment when you graduate from college and university. So there are options out there. It's much easier to find those options now than it has been in the past, but you do have to research. No one's going to just come and drop everything on your lap. I encourage you all to definitely go out there and explore what your options are and the different funding options that are available. And please apply for the scholarships, not just workforce development, but apply for the scholarships.
All of them.
Every year I get calls to say that there's money being left on the table because no one applied for a scholarship. Um, a few years ago, I got a call that said, we have a scholarship and absolutely no one applied. And I basically said to young people, I said, if you saw $50 on the ground, you're not just going to leave it there. That's what happens when you don't apply for scholarships. You're basically leaving money, you're walking past money that's left on the ground. So please ensure that you are exploring all the options. And even if, I'll give you a little secret, even if you think that you don't quite make the mark with some of the requirements, apply anyway. Because sometimes no one else applied either, and you might end up being the only person. They'll interview you, and then you ace the interview and you end up with a scholarship. I know someone that happened to. So don't think that it's just this one thing. Please, please, please branch out and apply.
Hey,
Agreed.
I got one. Does the performing arts fit into the hospitality area?
That is a very interesting question. We have not actually ever had that come up. So I couldn't say yes or no to that. What I would say is I would say to put that in, but also you may want to explore the Department of Culture because they may have some funding options for you as well. And there are performing arts scholarships that are out there and also on Bermuda scholarships. So that's also an option as well.
And another industry, well, two-part industry base was regarding microbiology and biological science, as well as if there is a database of professions that are in high demand. The
Well,
salary range the same.
I'm going to tell just a little secret right now to the people on the call. We have our Bermuda job board, and we are actually going to be replacing the Bermuda job board very soon, which will have all of that data and information on there. So right now, what I would say is the Bermuda Hospitals Board is an excellent resource for biomedical science and the careers that are available there. But our new job board will endeavor to have all of that and also give good information on the career pathway for many of the jobs that I was talking about today.
Okay. And for those who may be
Yes.
interested, yeah, that is a great thing because we need the access to the information in one place. So thank you, Workforce Development. But for those who may, want to get in contact, what is the best route, like through the Department of Workforce to find out if their, area of study, if they wanted to come in, if they needed any assistance? Just wanted to reiterate that information for everyone, both students as well as parents.
I'm gonna pop our website and also the main phone number for the Department of Workforce Development, and you can ask for any of our either career development officers or training and assessment officers. Training and development officers with regards to information on scholarships. And if anyone ever wants to contact me, I will give you my email address as well.
And as Ms. Cartwright is doing that, for the person who asked about performing arts, I don't know if you were on last week, but I know Centennial has a performing
Yes.
arts scholarship as well. That is, I think it's about 35,000 for 4 years. So that is one. I think they provide one of those. But then again, Bermuda Scholarships, BermudaScholarships.com will be here next week to talk about their new portal and the scholarships that they're offering. So it'll be another opportunity to get information.
Okay, great. So if there are any more questions, just go ahead and drop them in the chat. But I did want to move on to the Ministry of Education. We have Miss Shanae Smith. She is the Scholarships and Awards Program Manager. We also have two recipients, Jamin Fabler, who received a Minister's Achievement Award, and Maya Farbit Jacobs, who received the Bermuda Government Scholarship. So I will hand it over to Shanae, and then she can hand it over to our scholarship recipients.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm going to get right to it and share my screen. And then, like Alicia said, we will move on to our two recipients of our scholarships who are going to be sharing a little bit about their experiences with applying and then how these scholarships have impacted their academic journey so far. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes, just go to like
Yes.
present mode.
Yes, thanks.
Okay. Okay, so the Ministry of Education has 10 different scholarships that we offer. Last year, we received close to 600 applications, and we were able to award scholarships to a total of 84 students. This year, we are offering those same 10 scholarships, and the budget is almost $2 million as far as the funding that we give across all 10 of those scholarships. So all of our applications are accepted through BermudaScholarships.com. Sometimes we have people call and ask about dropping off hard copy applications or emailing applications in, but all of our scholarship applications are through BermudaScholarships.com only. And our deadline for this year is April 15th. Due to the volume of applications, we cannot accept late applications, so that is a very important date to remember. So the first scholarship that I'm going to talk about is the Bermuda Government Scholarship. This one is for up to $35,000 for up to 4 years. This one is for college, university, or graduating senior students up to the age of 25 who demonstrate outstanding academic achievement. Next is the
Hold on,
Minister's
Nate.
Achievements.
I don't think the presentation is going through. From what I see, it's just the opening page. So I don't know if you want to go to the like presented as a slideshow.
One sec. What are you seeing now?
I see it, but I could still see like the PowerPoint. So I don't know if you want to go up the top where it says the slideshow. Scroll to your right. Or yeah, it'll start it from the beginning. That would have been fine.
How's that?
Not me trying to click it. I'm sorry. Is it F5? I don't know. Because it's like we can see it, but we can see it as if it's a PowerPoint, not like a presentation.
Okay, give me
We'll go down the bottom and you'll see the little screen presentation and you can click that and it should go.
Yeah, I clicked that. I'm not
What-
sure what's happening.
Stop sharing your screen. Go to the presentation and then share your screen.
All right.
Perfect.
Is that fine? I'm going to the next slide. Tell me if you see it, if it changed for you.
Yes, perfect.
Okay. So I was just talking about the Minister's Achievement Award. That is one that is specifically for students who are graduating from Berkeley or Cedar Bridge this year, and it's for up to $25,000 for up to 4 years. Next, we have the Minister's Exceptional Student Award. This one is actually awarded to one student who will be attending Bermuda College and then one student who will be traveling overseas. And it's for students who have any kind of disabilities or exceptionalities up to the age of 25. We also have the Minister's Applied Science Scholarship. This is specifically for students who have participated in the dual enrollment program with Bermuda College during their time at Berkeley or Cedar Bridge, who would like to continue on and obtain their certification or their associate's degree. We have the Minister's Technical and Vocational Award. This one is for students who are studying in a technical and vocational field, and it is also for one student who will be attending Bermuda College and one student who will be attending overseas education. Next, we have the Teacher Education Scholarship, and this is for students who have completed at least 1 year of college so far. It's for up to $20,000 for up to 3 years, and you must also be on track to completing your teaching certification, and it's for students who are studying with the areas of need within the Bermuda public school system. We have the University of West Indies Scholarship. This year, we are actually broadening it a bit because we typically don't tend to have a high volume of students from the University of West Indies who apply. However, we've now opened it up to any school that's in the Caribbean region who will be given consideration if we don't get any applications from students who are looking to go to the University of the West Indies. We have the Further Education Award. This is for students who have completed at least 1 year of college or university. This one is given to up to 50 students for an amount of $10,000 for 1 year. And around 10 of these awards are also given to students who are studying postgraduate degrees, whether it be a master's or sometimes a doctorate degree. We have the Non-Traditional Student Award, which is for students who are over the age of 25 who are looking to get their post-secondary degree and are attending college for the first time. And this is for up to $20,000 per year for up to 4 years. We have the College Promise, which is managed by Bermuda College, but it is funded by the Ministry of Education, which covers the full cost of tuition for students who are graduating from Berkeley or Cedar Bridge for up to 2 years. And then we also have the Bermuda College Book Award. So whether you're College Promise or you're a scholarship recipient or you're paying for schooling on your own and you're attending Bermuda College, you can apply for your Bermuda College Book Award and receive up to $500 towards purchasing any books that you need. So resources. If you visit the Ministry of Education website, we actually have a short guide. Sorry, was there a question? We have a short guide that is available on the Ministry of Education website for each of our scholarships, which gives a breakdown of your eligibility, the requirements, and what is necessary to apply for each of the scholarships. By the end of this week, we will also have a documents guide, which basically outlines what the different documents are to give you a little bit of assistance because sometimes I think people get confused or it's a little bit overwhelming having to gather all of these documents. So it just lays out a little bit what the documents are and how you can go about obtaining them in order to apply for these scholarships. If you need assistance with the Bermuda Scholarships website, you will need to contact admin at bermudascholarships.com. Sometimes we have people who reach out, they're having technical issues. We do not manage the Bermuda Scholarships website, even though our scholarships are listed there. So you'll need to contact them directly for any of your technical issues. But if you do have any questions about eligibility, which scholarships you should apply for, what documents you need, you can always contact us at the ministry. You can email scholarships at moed.bm, or you can give us a call and ask to speak to someone about scholarships. So this is just one of the examples of the guide checklist that outlines all of the different documents that are required to apply for one of the scholarships. Your transcripts, you'll need to have a personal and an academic reference letter. You'll need to have an official letter or certificate of any extracurricular activities you've done or community service, proof of your Bermuda status, proof of 5 years of education in Bermuda, completed essay questions, and keep in mind that these vary per scholarship. So if you are choosing to apply to more than one scholarship, there will be different essay questions for each of those scholarships. We have acceptance letter here. However, if you do not have your acceptance letter by the time that you are applying, you can still apply without it. You can just submit a document saying that you haven't received your acceptance letter yet. And if you are successful in moving on to the next round, you can take your acceptance letter with you to the interview. The completed financial need form, this is attached to your Bermuda Scholarships profile. So you complete that form on bermudascholarships.com and it will be submitted as part of your application through there. A statement of estimated cost of tuition and accommodation. This is for students who are going to be traveling overseas, just to give an idea of what the costs are. So by statement, this can be either an invoice from the school. It can even just be a screenshot from the website of the actual establishment that you're looking to study at, but we need to just see that it's something that comes from the school. It can't be a Microsoft Word document that you have created. We need to see that it's coming from the school itself, and then a resume for each student. So just a few tips, because our applications are due by April 15th. It is important to start early. I know that, sometimes students are a bit busy when it comes to exams and other things that are happening towards the end of the year. But like I stated earlier, we can't accept late applications. So it's best to start now, especially when it comes to gathering some of these documents. That might take a little bit of time. You don't want to wait until the last minute and then possibly miss the application deadline because you weren't able to acquire all of your documents. The essay questions, like I stated, sometimes we have students who will apply for 3 or 4 scholarships, but have the same essay questions. So you can see that they didn't read the application instructions. It's very important to make sure, because we have different scholarship committees for each of our scholarships, that you are answering the questions that are being asked specifically to the scholarship that you are applying to. Another thing about starting early gives the opportunity for you to reach out to people to provide your reference letters for you, and it gives them time to actually write a really strong reference that will help you to stand out when it comes to the other candidates who are applying for the scholarships. It's also very important just to make sure you're having a second set of eyes go over the scholarship applications, just to make sure you didn't miss anything or leave anything out. And you will also need, if you need a parent or guardian to fill out the financial need form, this is another thing that is why we ask people to start early, so that no information is missed with this financial need form that is submitted as part of your application, because many of these scholarships, are financial need based. And also to make sure that you are prepared in case you are shortlisted for an interview. So if you are successful during the shortlisting phase, you will find out during usually around the end of May or early June, you'll be reached out to by someone from the scholarship committee to arrange an interview. And then once the interview process, if you are selected, you'll be notified by one of the Ministry of Education reps to attend an award ceremony, where you'll be actually awarded your scholarship, and that takes place towards the end of July. And this is just some of our former recipients, specifically the ones on the left are from 2024, just to give you an idea of the volume of students that actually received the scholarships. People tend to study a whole wide range of things. You have bachelor's, we have master's, we have everything. We just really encourage people to apply because we try to cover as many different fields and disciplines of study. So like I know it's already been stated, but don't feel overwhelmed or feel like you shouldn't apply to as many scholarships as possible because you really just never know. And that is the end of our presentation. I'm going to stop sharing the screen. If anyone has any questions before we move on to our former recipients to talk about their experiences.
There's a question in the chat. That says, because it is April, the child has not made her final decision on which school as of yet, and all of the acceptances are not in. Wondering if they can apply for one school and change when a decision is made.
Yes, that's fine. You can, like I said, you can just submit a document because I don't think so, Bermuda Scholarships website will allow you to submit your application if that field is empty, but you can just submit a document that says that you're waiting for your acceptance letters and you'll be able to move on to the next round.
And a parent is asking for clarification if the scholarships apply for those who attend private schools.
There are a few that I mentioned. The Minister's Achievement Scholarship is specifically for students who went to graduating from Berkeley or Cedarbridge, but there are some that you are eligible for as a private school student as well. The more important thing is showing 5 years of education in Bermuda. So whether it's a private or a public school.
Okay, do we have any other questions?
We have a hand up. Ms. Shea?
Yes, I have a question again. I know that you said it's not at this time, if you do not have an acceptance letter, you can state that. My question is for the supporting document for the cost of tuition. My daughter has submitted for basically the highest university. I mean, the university has the highest tuition, but she has been accepted into another university. So is it okay to have two supporting documents from two different schools, or is it the preference to have the supporting documents from one school?
You can submit both. And then if she was successful in moving on to the next round, she can clarify for the scholarship committee exactly which school she is going to be attending. But as far
Okay.
as for application purposes, she can submit both.
Okay, great. Thank you.
I know that is consistent also with another presentation that I had with the peer leaders with BermudaScholarships.com. And she actually recommended to go with the highest first. And you could always switch afterwards. It's just notifying them of the change that you're going to make.
Yeah.
Okay, so that might be it for the questions right now. We can move on to having either
I'm sorry,
Jamie
I have a question. I just couldn't find the thing to raise my hand in time. If the school is also offering a merit scholarship or some kind of scholarship, is it going to lessen the amount of funds that you could receive from this scholarship, or will it not be included because it would depend on if you're going to that school or not? If you understand.
If you are the recipient of any other funding, we do ask that you submit that so that we can be aware of it. And it's usually, if the funding is adjusted, it's usually based on your total amount of cost because obviously school is expensive. So you have tuition costs, you have accommodation costs, and you have other costs that are, accrued during your time away. It's usually up to the discretion of the scholarship committee, but they do tend to work with you. Like I said, so based on the what your total amount is, they will look at that and they will factor that in.
Okay, and any more questions before we hear from our recipients? I don't think so. Shanae, did you have a preference on which order they presented in?
No, it's fine. Whoever would like to speak first.
Okay, so I see Jamin is from 2021, so maybe we can go by year. So Jamin, if you are ready, you can unmute and put on your camera.
It says that I can't start the camera, so it says the host hasn't allowed it.
I'm sorry, I'll make you a co-host. Hold on 1 second.
All right, no worries.
We should be able to start it now.
All right. Yes, we are here. Okay. Good evening, everyone. As previously stated, my name is Jamin Fubler, and in 2021, I was the recipient of the Minister's Achievement Scholarship from the Ministry of Education. And my journey for applying was very stressful, I must say, as everyone's is. It's always that time of year comes by, and you got to get all the deadlines in for as many scholarships as possible because you don't know if you're going to get in. So for me personally, I remember I applied for probably about 20 odd scholarships, ended up getting the Minister Achievements Scholarship as well in conjunction to a scholarship from Belco. Um, as far as my schooling is concerned, I currently attend Dalhousie University and I'm pursuing a bachelor's in electrical engineering. And basically, my journey over the years with the Ministry of Education has been nothing but pleasant. They're very helpful and very understanding. Similar to a question that was just asked about as far as tuition is concerned and how things work when you have multiple scholarships. As someone with multiple scholarships, I can confirm that they do work with you very well. And basically, you just have to notify them on scholarship amounts as far as it's concerned from both parties. And then they just come to an agreement on what the desired amount is as far as the cost of tuition, travel for plane tickets, and as well as housing. Um, as far as anything else, I would say that it's been a while. I am currently in my third year, so every year, as far as the Minister of Achievement Scholarship is concerned, every semester you have to send your transcript in. So there's a lot of back and forth in terms of communication between the Ministry of Education and yourself as a scholarship recipient. And it's always pleasant to send emails and get quick responses that are promptly. It's a very good communication channel. And I highly recommend to all students that you apply for as many scholarships as possible because you honestly don't know which ones you're going to get, but it's always better to have multiple options. And then from there, you can decline or accept the ones that you deem fit. Um, and yeah, I would say that's a quick synopsis of myself. If anyone has any questions about scholarships or the different pathways, because especially going into engineering in Bermuda is a bit of a harder field to get into in terms of the university pathway, because really you only have overseas as that option, as Bermuda College doesn't really have the facilities to facilitate that career pathway. But yeah, I'll open it up for anyone if they have questions for me or if they wanted. I don't know if we were presenting one after the other and then a big questions or it's however you guys want.
Yeah, so we can open it up if anyone has any questions for Jamin, especially if it's any students who, are on the line and you have any scholarship base. This is someone who has that lived experience, or, parents, if you want to ask maybe from a parenting perspective, what might be needed to support us going through these scholarships. But yeah, we can open up the floor for questions. No questions right now? That's fine. We can hear from Maya and then open it up again at the end in case any questions arise. Thank you for sharing, Jamin.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Maya Faber Jacobs, and I'm currently attending St. John's University pursuing a degree in computer science. And today I basically want to share how this scholarship from the Ministry of Education has made a huge impact on my academic journey as well as personal growth. I would say first and foremost, the scholarship has lifted the financial burden off my shoulders as well as my family, because knowing that the expenses are covered, I can focus solely on my studies without the constant worry of finances. It has just given me a peace of mind knowing that I can pursue my degree without financial strain. Beyond financial relief, I would say the scholarship has been able to open many doors for me that are even like outside of class. I've been able to get involved in leadership roles on campus, such as being a resident assistant, as well as working in the campus activities department. And I've been able to receive a e-board position on one of our cultural organizations, Horaya, where I can help out in events and create diversity as well as I'm sorry, celebrations together for all the students. These experiences have extremely helped me to grow both professionally as well academically, because they go beyond the skills that I wasn't expecting to encounter outside the classroom. And I think most importantly, receiving this scholarship has motivated me to keep pushing forward. It reminds me that my hard work and dedication are both valued, and it encourages me to live my best in everything that I do. Um, when it comes to giving back, I've also, whether it's by helping out other students or mentoring or just simply like today sharing my experience, it really has helped me through everything. And I do encourage all students to apply to as many scholarships as you can and just keep pursuing different opportunities like this, because even if you doubt yourself, take that chance, and because opportunities like this can truly change your life. So I would definitely say keep on pursuing it.
Thank you, Maya. This sounds exciting, both you and Jamin. I'm glad to see that your dreams have come to fruition and how the Ministry of Education has helped. So at this time, I do want to open up the floor to questions. I am going to share the survey that we have for the night. We'll share it in the room. Once you've completed it, if you can put a number 1 or a thumbs up in the chat. But we can open up the floor, have questions, complete the surveys, and then we'll close the session with our raffle prizes.